What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, August 22nd, day number 38 inside the Big Brother house. It's eviction day. Where are the votes? Who will be going home? Who is rolling butts? Let's talk about that, all the intel, drama, and more from yesterday's live feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video? Hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Give you guys a little bit of a recap if you haven't been keeping up with everything going on this week. Tucker won HOH. Quinn, Brooklyn, and Cam were his initial nominees. Tucker then wins the power of veto, takes down Quinn, puts up Chelsea in a wild veto meeting, which we saw some of during last night's episode. We didn't get all of the post fight yelling. Maybe they're saving that for tonight's episode. We'll have to see. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Speaking of, with the episode that we had last night, overall decent episode. I've really been liking the episodes more this season. I don't know if in general that's just me liking the cast more, me liking how the season's playing out more, or if it really is just kind of DRs being a little bit more genuine. Except for Quinn. Quinn seems to be yelling quite a bit. But overall, I've been really enjoying the episodes a lot. Uh, Brooklyn during Hide and Go Veto was probably the worst defense I've ever seen. We saw her trashing the house, which caused a lot of drama with Quinn and Tucker, but even between Brooklyn and Tucker, which hopefully we'll also see on tonight's episode as well. And it just in general, it was good to see Hide and Go Veto come back. We hadn't seen that competition in such a long time since COVID was a thing. So it was fun to see that comp come back. Always kind of a fan favorite. It did feel maybe a little bit lackluster, right? Compared to what maybe we were hyping it up to be. But overall, I had a good time with the episode. Let's jump into the live feeds, though. That's what you guys are here for. And to start you guys off, Angela and Tucker, they kind of officially made their final two official. They've had kind of like a little bit of a thing going on where they've been working together, but it wasn't like locked in. They finally did that yesterday, and they went even further with it, saying that they could bring Joseph in as a potential third, MJ and Leah as possible fourths, and Joseph actually ended up telling Angela later in the day that he thinks Leah is one of his favorite people here in the house. So he seems to be cool with it. That seems like it could work as a little bit of a group. But I didn't see them actually like fully lock that group in at all. But potentially that could be something that comes, down the road. Also, in kind of a lighthearted, non-game moded, there was a lot of fun, like little scares that were going on throughout the day. First, I saw Angela kind of sneaking up on Quinn in the HOH bathroom to scare him. Later, we saw Quinn scaring Brooklyn with a big assist from Angela. Brooklyn walked into the room, didn't sit where she needed to be able to get scared by Quinn, who was hiding by the couch, only for Angela to be like, "You're not going to sit by me?" And Brooklyn was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," went on over, and they were able to get Brooklyn. And then probably one of my favorite ones was a 1-2 combo on Angela as she was coming out of the diary room. Leah was set up as kind of a decoy scare behind the door where she was like, "Oh, I got you," and distracted her, while Chelsea was behind the couch. Chelsea eventually jumps out and gets her. Meanwhile, the rest of the house is watching on the HOH video TV, cheering them on, like getting ready for it to happen. They were so excited. Angela was like mocking to the cameras. They're like, "Oh, just you wait." She eventually gets scared by Chelsea. She then chased her around the kitchen, chased her upstairs. It was kind of a lighthearted, fun time that was being had by the house guests. As far as game goes, though, Brooklyn and Chelsea were both out on the campaign trail trying to make sure they had the votes to stay. Brooklyn, in what might be one of the craziest things to come about this season so far, apparently at some point, I don't know if it was just today or if they realized this much earlier in the game, it was never brought up until today, but apparently Brooklyn and Joseph, well, not and Joseph, but Brooklyn and Joseph's older brother went to high school together. And not only did they go to high school together, Brooklyn said they were like the best friends, and you should vote to keep me because I was best friends with your brother in high school. And apparently this is true. I don't even know how they figured this out, that they that Brooklyn and Joseph's older brother went to the same high school, but they did figure this out. And it is true. But Joseph's brother, while he did actually confirm they did go to high school together, he didn't know her. They weren't friends. In fact, he wasn't even aware it was true until somebody found it in a yearbook and they found her picture. I think she was like 2 years ahead of him or something like that. But still, quite a funny way to try and get somebody to vote for you to stay is be like, I was best friends with your brother in high school. We were we were really tight. You should not vote me out. Only for that not to be true is kind of amazing. As far as Chelsea goes, she was also working on Joseph. He's kind of a key vote that both of them needed to get if they wanted to be able to stay this week. And it seems to have kind of worked with Joseph on Chelsea's end, at least. He ended up talking to T-Core and Chemo later down the line and said, "You know what? I think I'm gonna go with you guys. I'm down to save Chelsea this week. If you guys wanna vote to keep Chelsea, I'll do that. We got to check in with Tucker, right? I don't want to do anything that he's not comfortable with either. But he's like, yeah, if we got the votes and you guys want to do that, I'm down. Uh, TK and Chemo, they not even Chemo actually. It was Decor and Rubina who were having a conversation in the storage room, and they both want to keep Chelsea. And if it's her versus Cam, going to be tough, but they think they can get the votes. They're a little bit worried about Tucker, though. He's not really down for this. He seemed to be wanting to get rid of Chelsea or Brooklyn no matter what and to keep Cam safe. But it does seem like if it does end up being Chelsea versus Cam, they want to push for that. Takur's kind of big thing was, look, you got to have the power to put people on the block. We have the power to do the vote and to see who goes out of the house. One thing that's kind of rough about that is like you're supposed to be in an alliance, you're supposed to be working together. If you never made this vocally known prior to nominations, maybe you could have gotten things a little bit differently. But then you put yourself into this position where you've got to pick a side. You've got to, then show your cards and be like, you know what? No, I'm going against, what you want, Tucker. I'm not going to do what you want me to do this week. Which, hey, don't get me wrong. I love when house guests go against what the HOH wants, but it feels to me like one of the things to core I think I've realized is she plays this game a lot more like Survivor, where she feels like she can kind of be that swing vote all the time and do different things, and no matter what, she'll have the votes to be able to do what she needs to do. This game isn't like Survivor. One of the big things is you have to have numbers to be able to have somebody in your group winning the power, because if you don't win the power, if your side doesn't have it, you can't do anything. So that is something that I'm a little bit worried about going forward with their game. Is it feels like they're trying stuff, but I just don't know if they're going to have the ability to win the competitions and have the power to do what they need to do when they have to. Uh, Quinn, he's also made a point to Chemo, T-Core, and Rubina. They kind of point out like, hey, Tucker and Joseph are getting really tight. They probably have a final two. He's also, though, down to vote for Chelsea to stay if that's what everybody wants to do as well. And Quinn and Rubina actually seem to be getting a little bit closer as well. She might even be trying to kind of have Quinn be almost her Joseph to her Tucker, right? Like how Tucker has Joseph as maybe his number one. Rubina could maybe bring Quinn as her #1 outside of the showmance. And also, there may have been a little bit of jealousy that caused some drama as well. So Rubina and Quinn were kind of staring into each other as everybody was in a big group. Tucker saw this. Eventually, though, that kind of led Tucker to hold Rubina's hand underneath the covers, which multiple people noticed. Not only did Leah notice this, Quinn noticed it as well. Both of them called them out to different groups. Quinn to Core, Chemo. Who else was in the room? I forget who else was in the room. But there are a couple of different people. Leah, on the other hand, told it to Joseph and to Brooklyn. She had a kind of a funny line where she was like, well, at least somebody's getting cuddled. Now, as far as the vote goes, we can take a look here at our allegiance chart. I've changed things up a little bit on how things look. So let's take a look here. So I still got Tucker as the highest. Look, guys, I might be drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit at this point. I honestly think, and again, I could be wrong on this, and in a week or two, I could be saying, you know what, Ori, you were just going a little crazy there. I honestly think Tucker might be a great player and has just one major flaw. I feel like if you were to look at Tucker as like a D&D player, if anybody's ever played D&D before, you make a character, you have all these different stats and abilities, and you can put different points into your stats, right? Tucker's stats would be maxed out in almost every possible thing. He's charismatic, he's smart, he's strong, he's cool under pressure. He's got a really pretty good social game going on right now. His one big issue, threat management. He has no threat management at all. Everyone sees him as a threat, but because he's smart, because he's perceptive, he sees that, right? He knows everybody's coming for him. So what has he done? He's kind of tried to insulate himself with people who were on the outs, people who he feels like, you know what? I can gain their trust and they won't put me up now because I was able to gain their trust. I think he's got Joseph locked in. Joseph, if he wins an HOH, he's not putting Tucker up on the block. Rubina's not going to do that. That's kind of her #1 showmance, right? Angela's not going to do that. At this point, MJ and Leah, I don't think are going to do that. That is 5 people right there. If they all win HOH, I don't think Tucker's going up on the block. Then you have someone like Cam. I don't 100% know what Cam would do if he were to win HOH. Something tells me, though, he's kind of in with Tucker a little bit, right? Like, even though Tucker put him on the block, Cam's chilling, right? That also is to say maybe Cam even starts to do anything in this game and actually wins an HOH, but that's a whole nother story. I think he, though, would end up listening to Chelsea, and that could be a threat for Tucker to actually go up on the block. But still, not 100% sure. Quinn's been telling Decor, Chemo, Joseph, Rubina, like, hey, yeah, like, Tucker saved me. I almost want to win HOH to prove to Tucker that I'm not going to go after him. He was talking about his nominations would be MJ, and he wouldn't even want to go after Angela. We kind of talked about this the other day on the update. Who would Quinn put up if he won HOH? MJ, Angela, Tucker, right? Like, those would be the people that he probably could. But now he's kind of saying MJ, possibly even Cam as a pawn up there next to MJ. So maybe Quinn doesn't put Tucker up on the block. Chelsea might actually put Quinn up on the block. Joseph up on the block. Would she put Tucker? Maybe as a backdoor option, but I don't think anybody's putting him up right away. Which again, if he gets picked for the veto, there's no saying that he's not going to just win that veto and get himself safe. It's an interesting little thing here. Chemo and T-Core, as much as they've been going kind of against, you can also see I've started to make some sides here, right? As much as these are loosely based, right? This is kind of how I see things developing here. And one thing to kind of note, Rubina, really you could put much more in the middle, but I've put her farther to Tucker's side. And here's why. I've seen this play out before. This might be new to some people who have watched Big Brother before. We've never just you Big Brother US before. We've never really had a showmance on Big Brother where the showmans kind of actively game against each other, right? Like a little bit on BB24 with Kyle and Alyssa, right? They were kind of on opposite sides of the house. They weren't really talking game to each other, though, really at all. Like that was kind of the weird thing. There was another time, though, that we have seen a showmance kind of go against each other, have different alliances, but talk game, but also be kind of adversarial, even more so than Tucker and Rubina. We haven't even really seen them go against each other that much. They're just kind of, getting numbers on either side. The other example that I'm thinking of comes from Big Brother Canada 11. There was a house guest named Ty and a house guest named Cece. And at the end of the day, you know what the showmances always do? They look out for each other. So even though Rubina has a really strong connection to Chemo and Takur, do you really think that Rubina is going to turn on Tucker and go with Chemo and Takur? I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, she's going to choose Tucker over them. So it's an interesting thing where I feel like Tucker has gotten himself somehow well insulated, even though he's the obvious target. He's the obvious person you need to get out right now. There's a chance nobody's taking a shot at him at the moment. And this, again, you almost need to take every shot you can because he has such a ability to win these competitions we've seen. It could be kind of tough. He's got to win out, right? There's going to be a moment where he needs to win a competition, and if he loses that competition, he's out the door. When will that moment come? And when will they actually get the right time to do it? Will it be a double eviction? Will it be, this upcoming week? Will it be 4 weeks from now? I'm not sure, and I'm not sure exactly when that will come, but it's kind of interesting. Again, we can kind of visually talk about some of the votes here. If it is Brooklyn versus anyone, Brooklyn goes. Chemo, T-Core, Quinn, Leah, MJ, Angela, Joseph, Rubina, all are on board with voting Brooklyn out in most scenarios here. If it's Chelsea versus Cam, that was the interesting one where, hey, Tucker really wanted Cam to be safe no matter what, but Chemo and Takur really wanted to make sure that Chelsea stayed. So they worked, they were able to get and lock in Rubina, who also wanted Chelsea to stay, even though Tucker didn't want that as well. And that was kind of a really the only reason they were able to get this to go through. The fact that Rubina also wanted this, it helped them get the numbers in the long run. They were able to convince Joseph. They were able to convince Quinn. That's pretty much already enough there because whoever would come off the block, let's say it would be Brooklyn, she would keep Chelsea in that situation as well. And they have enough votes there. Leah said she would want to go with the house, though she is not exactly happy with this either. MJ would probably go with the house, Angela as well. But also, I'm sure if Tucker tomorrow morning, right? Like if he's like, hey, we just gotta do this thing, I think they would go with it, right? I think you could end up seeing where Joseph, Angela, MJ, Leah, and Rubina all go, yeah, you know what? Tucker wants us to keep Cam. We're gonna keep Cam. So this could be it could be an interesting vote, but again, that relies on Brooklyn winning the AI arena, which is not a guarantee. Who knows what's going to happen with AI arena? It can change so much. We'll probably also find out about the AI instigator vote that's been going on since last week. I don't expect it to have much effect on the game. I haven't really even been bothering to talk about who could eventually win the vote. I feel like it's probably going to end up being Tucker who ends up winning it just because he seems like probably the most popular player all around the Big Brother fandom at the moment. So I think he would end up winning it. Maybe he can have some fun with it too, because I think he's also the one who would be the most creative with it, right? Maybe think outside of the box of just doing the standard, misinformation that they would give, because I don't feel like the misinformation is going to have an effect on the house. Everyone's going to see it for what it is, as something to stir the pot, and they're not going to want to actually give it any credibility at all. So maybe you can actually use it to put some truth in there that people then go and mix that in with the lies, now assuming the truth is also a lie. So that would probably be the best way I could see someone using this power. But overall, I think it's going to have a very minimal effect on the game, but it could be entertaining for an episode or two. Other than that, what are you guys thinking of the vote tonight? Let me know in those comments down below. Do you think Cam, Chelsea, or Brooklyn will be leaving the house? Let me know down there as well. We will be live tonight here on the channel for a live eviction watch party, so make sure you join us for that. Also, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. We'll have the live watch party tonight. We'll also have a live update tomorrow morning on Friday. The live updates are always fun. You get the nice short update like we do here, about 20-30 minutes of me just kind of yapping about what happened, who won HOH, and all that stuff. And then afterwards, we have a nice fun chat. We'll end up talking about the Challenge 40 and just other stuff that you guys are wanting to talk about the season and everything else going on. Thank you guys all again so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you joining me here every morning, and I will see you tonight.
Nice. Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, we're just chilling. What? Nothing? Dude, so the football game last night.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, football's nice. Definitely enjoy it.